I'm going to tell you a story, one that will explain what you already know to be true. Nearly everyone has some grasp on how absurd it is that their lives are surrounded with material goods from far away, yet they themselves do some menial non-material job like accounting or customer service. That feels weird and unjust, and it is. Here's how that ends up happening. It all has to do with oil and the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, or OPEC for short. If a country is going to have an economy, then it is going to physically need energy, and that energy is going to come in the form of fossil fuels. We'll ultimately kill inventors and ruin companies to ensure that fossil fuels are the predominant energy source of the world. If that country is going to be buying fossil fuels, it'll be buying those fossil fuels with the United States dollar or USD. The United States will actually go to war to keep OPEC countries in line and trading on the USD, as it has and as it currently is. Basically what this boils down to is a scenario like this. Let's say a country, say Barbados, wants to buy Saudi Arabian oil. Saudi Arabia only trades its oil on the United States dollar. Again, it's a member of OPEC, and all the OPEC countries have to trade on the USD. So in order for Barbados to get that oil that it needs to run its economy, it needs to go to Wall Street and trade its Barbadian currency for United States currency in order to get its oil. Let's say it does that and it finds the most beautiful, wonderful, altruistic Wall Street trader who looks at all the numbers and decides that the fairest possible trade is 8 Barbadian dollars for 1 United States dollar. Okay? So Barbados does that trade, it buys its oil, and it's happy. Meanwhile, in the sugar market, let's say 1 United States dollar will allocate or buy something like 1 pound of United States produced sugar. Meanwhile, in Barbados, 1 Barbadian dollar allocates 5 pounds of Barbadian produced sugar. This is what's known as an outlying market. And in this outlying market, in this example, the United States has 40-to-1 leverage for buying Barbadian sugar instead of US sugar. Because 1 USD buys 8 Barbadian, and each one of those Barbadian dollars makes 5 times as much sugar than the United States dollar does. So the United States can buy 40 times the Barbadian sugar than it can buy the US sugar because of this quirk of currency exchanges. And this happens in every outlying market. So if some country has an outlying market for sugar cane, for beets, for any agricultural product, for cotton, for labor, for anything, the United States currency is going to have a really good way of purchasing those goods and services from those countries. This explains why you see so many foreign goods in the United States, and it also simultaneously explains why you see so many manufacturing businesses shutting down in the United States. Because the United States businesses can't compete with their own currency's leverage to buy foreign goods and services and import them. This is ultimately why all the jobs in the United States are service jobs, because you can't import a service. Or at least, not very well. In the short run, it's awesome being the world reserve currency. You can pretty much purchase everything in the world for as cheap as possible. But there are long-term economic effects that sort of just erode the society that has that privilege. Sadly, there's no concise conclusion to this video. There's not really a way you can solve this, though there's gotta be something that'll eventually give and change eventually. Because ultimately, your first inclination was absolutely correct. There is something weird and wrong in the world.